Hello, everybody. We're live across the UK and indeed around the world. So we're going to be talking about the prepper meet, which is only next week, next Friday. So 7 days from now. Whilst we wait for people to enter the chat, I would appreciate a 5x5 to make sure that you can hear me miles away from wherever you are. So I'm literally stuck until I get the confirmation, guys. So no worries. I understand there's a lag. So we just wait for everything to warm up, as it were. Thank you for the 5x5 people. Appreciate that. Good. So you can see and hear me. Excellent. So just go into the chat. Carl McPhee, good to see you, mate. And thanks for your continued support with the channel. It's seriously appreciated, mate. I'm not joking. You have been a massive help to the channel, seriously. So thanks very much, Carl, for that. You're a legend. Engineered to succeed, Matt. Good to see you, brother. Rachel, of course, my partner. Incidentally, Rachel's I don't know if you know, but she's got her own YouTube channel and she's an artist and she's got a BA in fine art, so a very good artist. There's a link to her YouTube channel if you're interested in art, right underneath this video. So if you want to go and see what she's up to in the art world, then go for it. It would really help. And if you could just like some of the videos and leave comments, that would be really appreciative too. So that's awesome. Who else have we got in here? Barbara Edwards. Friday in the sun is shining. Sure is. Julia as well. Hi. Ash, don't tread on me. Good to see you, mate. And Slave to No Man. Hello, brother. Greetings. Yeah, seriously, Carl, it does, mate. Oh, I'm not joking. Squirrel Sniper. Long time no see. Good to see you, sir. Lena K as well. Veronica, this is brilliant. Full of hope as well. Izzy Fury, R. Perkins, Stephen Parks, Blood Nose, oh dear, and Christopher Wells. Brilliant. So yeah, good to see everyone in the chat. It's really awesome. So we're going to talk about the prepper meet here in the UK. So a bit of backstory then. I started doing YouTube videos back in January 2012. I was invited to go to the Bushcraft show to cover it on my YouTube channel, and a few friends went along as well. We've been referred to as the originals for many years now. So we're talking myself, Armored Cockroach, and Mind Wiseman. Give us a shout in the chat or the comment section if you've heard those guys before. But yeah, me and Mike, Armored Cockroach, we was just sitting there and having a chat. And we went to the Bushcraft show, and it was, I don't know what it was. It was over £100 a person for 2 days, the weekend, I think it was. And the weird thing was, this is my own experience on the Bushcraft show. I really, really liked it, but it's not for what you might think. I probably done one little lap of the stage and the shops, and that was it. I've seen it. It was very nice. So I just decided to chill with my friends. But unbeknownst to me, there was a big community of not only YouTube channels who create videos, but YouTube subscribers. And it's very weird because this is my first experience of people coming up to me and thanking me for my videos. And I know, you know, us people who make videos, you know, we get comments and messages and that sort of thing. But it's a lot different when you're meeting people for the first time, you know, face to face. They know, you know, whatever I choose to put online, they know about me, but I don't know nothing about them. And it was a bit weird. It was a bit freaky at first. So that sort of really took me back. And it wasn't just me, it was happening to others as well. Pete, Mike, and a few of the other lads, 51, Foxy, who is hammock camping and all the rest of it. And it was great. You know, it was the first time that me and my two friends were able to walk around and see other YouTubers. It was brilliant. So literally, we spent the entire weekend, like 95% of it, just chatting to YouTube subscribers and YouTube channels. And the weird thing was, because you know, I didn't have to pay to get in because I was covering the event I was working, and so was Mike. So we said, you know what, the bushcraft show is a lot of money, and how much time did we spend, you know, looking or using the facilities? None really. So it was Mike's idea to say, why don't we do our own, not a bushcraft show, but just somewhere where, you know, people who like watching our videos, they want to come and meet us and hang out, other YouTube makers as well, subscribers, all of that sort of thing. So it's Mike's idea to start up the UK Prepper Meet. And this was back in 2013. So we'd known each other for over a year at that point. And I believe the first year, 2013, we done 2. The first time, 100 people turned up, and it really blew us away. We couldn't understand. Wow, you know, our videos are reaching out to people, and they genuinely wanted to come and meet us. And that's great. It's really awesome. So that really started a whole community, because like I've been saying on loads of videos before, you know, it's great having an online community, but to have a physical community is very, very important. Now, I understand, you know, not everyone could drive to different parts of the country and all the rest of it. I'll get it. And indeed, there's not just one Prepper Meet now, there's others. So it gives people a chance to travel wherever they want to. So, you know, it was Mike's idea, as I said, to set up the Prepper Meet in 2013. And he literally had to travel like 10 miles or less from his home address at the time, his move since then, to Church Farm in Ardleigh. And Ardleigh is, I don't know, 10 miles northeast of Stevenage, roughly. Tiny little, pretty little village, very affluent. It's got a pub and all the rest of it. And it was a big organic farm. And he just went along there. Well, thanks for that support, Phoenix. 138 reminds me of Jason. Say hi to Jason from me. I've got to catch up on his videos. Thanks for your support. Appreciate that. But no, it was Mike's idea to find this place. He went there and done all of the hard work. Mike, if you're watching, he admits himself he's great at setting things up, but he just seems to lose interest and do something else, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it wasn't for Mike, you know, setting that place up and finding it, there probably wouldn't be a Prepper Meet, and it was his idea. So when people say, you know, me, no, it was Mike who started it. So he set it up. So basically, he done the first one, wanted to see if it would work, if anyone would turn up, and they did. And he said, well, you know, that's me done. You know, if you want to do this again, you'll have to do it yourself. I'm like, yeah, okay then. So, you know, I was in contact with the farm. What I used to do is January, the start of every year, I would look around to see what main events are going on. So back then, you know, we was talking about War and Peace, the Bushcraft Show, the Wilderness Gathering, you know, the important get-togethers. So I didn't want to clash with those. So I had to choose a date, and summertime just seemed to be the best one. So that's what I decided to do, is to follow doing that. But one of the nicest things to come from the Prepper Meet, everyone who's been to the UK Summer Prepper Meet has, most of the time, not all, but most of the time, people go on their own. And when they leave to go home, they've made friends. But the thing is, what I've noticed since I've been running the Prepper Meet since 2013 is they keep coming back. So loads of people wouldn't have ever met anyone else if it wasn't for the Prepper Meet. And it's all down to Mike for setting it up. And all I had to do really is just to keep it going. And yes, there's been lots of ups and downs. You know, we had COVID in 2020. So, you know, personally, you know, when 2020 happened, I thought, you know what, this could be the last Prepper Meet, which is sad. But of course, there was a lot of fear porn and a lot of BS, and we're all still here. And, you know, it's all been brilliant. So, you know, the Church Farm one was great. It was a long drive for me. I had to drive from Portsmouth all the way to way past North London, right around the M25. It took at least 3 to 4 hours with the traffic. And Mike, bless him, he had like a 10-mile drive. So that's why the Prepper Meet was set up there, because it was near to Mike, and fair play. I would have done the same if it was me. But that's the fact. That's what happened. So that continued for a few years. But what I was noticing that the place that we was using, they was, I don't know, and I hate to sort of run people down. It's not who I am. I'm bigger than that. I don't do that sort of thing. But I just got the impression that the prices were slowly going up and you weren't getting anything more. Now, I do understand what inflation means. It's fine. But I just felt, you know what? The prices that they're asking, not just to get in, but, £8 for a really small sack of firewood. And, you have to pay to have a fire. And I thought it just didn't sit well with me, and I can understand it. At the end of the day, it's a business. And if you're running a business and you're not making money, then you've got a crap business, as simple as that. So I do understand it. But I think the problems that I was feeling from it all is lots of people who go to the prepper meets didn't really have much money, including myself. But there was a few people who money is no object. So it was a good mix of all sorts of people. Now we had different skin colors. So it's not going to be a white supremacist BS thing. It wasn't that at all. We had all sorts of people go there. And, we had kids, including my son at the time, like 1 or 2 years old. And we've had a guy up there who was just in his late 80s. We've had people come from Germany, people come from America and Canada, and from the Channel Islands and Scotland. So we had people from far and wide come into the prepper meet. They all made friends, which is great. And that continued all the way through. It always seemed to change when I was offered a job here in Wales as a survival instructor, which I've done for a year. And, for me to travel from mid Wales all the way across the country to go to London was a tough one. But the main reason was I didn't like where it was going with the farm charging a lot for what they was giving. That's just my own opinion. And of course, we're all entitled to our opinion. And you don't have to agree. Everyone's got their own thoughts. If you disagree, it doesn't mean to say you're right or wrong. It's just we're allowed to. It's just my opinion based upon what I was seeing. So I thought with the prices, on the old church farm prepper meat that we used to do was going up, some of the people were saying it's ridiculous that we got to spend all this money on firewood and we got to pay to have our own fire, and the prices have gone up as well. So, that didn't sit well with me. So, in coupled with the move, I thought, no, I'm not going to do it there no more. And I told them, I said to them, I'm sorry, but, we're not going to be doing it here anymore. Didn't really have to give a reason. It was just done. Now, I do know that a few people, do some sort of meet there, but not many people go. But at the end of the day, if it helps people, if they're local, then that's great. It's all fine by me. So we're doing it now. I say I'm doing it really because Mike literally done the first one and he backed off. So I'm doing it in Wales because that's where the job that I was offered back in 2021, that's all come to an end and it's all gone, history. But I'm still here. Who knows? I could move at some point. I could stay here. I don't know. But for the moment, the prepper meet is in Brecon Beacons. Now, we're going to show you, right? Because I know not everyone is from Wales and not everyone probably knows where things are. So forgive me if you think I'm sucking eggs and all that sort of thing. But let me just make it full screen. Right, okay. So here is Wales, obviously. I'll see if I can make this larger. Okay, I don't know if that helps people. I wish I could just move it along, but I don't think I can. No, weird. Anyway, so the prepper meet used to be probably around here, where the top of that little cursor is. All right, that's where it used to be. And where it is now is probably about here, I guess. All right, so it's a fair distance away. And I fully appreciate it that the people who used to go to the prepper meet when it was over here, where the big area from around here go to that. So unfortunately, these people, for their own reasons, can't make it over here. And I fully understand, it could be all sorts, money, health, whatever it is. But it is what it is. We're doing it in Wales at the moment, and it's around Brecon Beacons, which is about there. Now, the beauty of it being in Brecon is it's not really far from the M4 corridor. So you've got London, okay, and the M4, which will go past Bristol and all the rest of it, just over there. And you literally, as soon as you hit like towards Cardiff way or along that M4, you just turn north. And I think it's the A470. It shouldn't take you too long at all. And all of a sudden, you're in the Brecon Beacons. Let me just see, put that there. There you go. I remembered I'd do it this time. So the Brecon Beacons, why was it chosen? Now, I spent ages looking around to try and find a good area to do a prepper meet in Wales. But the problems I come up against was most of the land was on a slope. So I don't think it's a good idea to put a tent on a slope. You're going to roll out a sleeping bag, you know, vehicles with dodgy handbrakes, van lifers, all this stuff. It's not good. It needs to be level, okay? One of the most important things you could ever do if you're wild camping is to find somewhere flat and level. And you know what happens if you sleep on a slope, especially if you get it wrong and you put your head at the lower end, the blood will run to your head and you'll wake up with a blinding headache. And, you know, you're going to be all jammed in your sleeping bag if you did the other way around. So to find somewhere level was very difficult because we're in the mountains of mid Wales and it's all mountains and hills. So it's quite hard to find somewhere flat. So that was the first thing. The second thing was finding a campsite or a farmer with a field who wasn't greedy, basically. And that was a bit of an issue. It was a bit of a shock to me. I remember going to a few places, and I'm not going to mention any names because I'm bigger than that. I don't do that sort of thing. I think it's childish to name shame. All right. So a few farmers and places that I went to, they said, "Oh, how many people are you thinking of would be going?" And I said, "Well, between 200 and 300. Right, that's normally what it is." And he's going, "Oh, how much? You know, how much do you think it's going to cost?" I said, "All we want is a field, and if you can cover or you can organise some portaloo toilets, that's pretty much it. We're not really perturbed about showers. You know, we're preppers, okay? We can just use wet wipes if for a few days. It's not going to kill us. But toilets, you know, I do draw the line. People digging latrines everywhere. It's going to be a nightmare. So there had to be a field, and there had to be toilets. Fair enough. But what was happening is the farmers, because about 3 of them, different people that I asked, all said the same thing. They want all of the money up front, half of it. Okay. So if you're talking like the prepper meet, it's like £30 or a person or something like that for 3 nights camping, which is really good in high season in the UK. It really is. You go to places in England and yeah, they could be charging £20 a night. All right. So you've got to be very careful where you go. So I thought, you know, £10, £11 a night is really reasonable for what you get. And you get like a shower block and you get nice clean toilets. You've got a place to do your ablutions. There's a kids' play area. There's a hookup for caravans. There's a pick your own fruit farm. There's a lovely river there to hammock camp. There's just loads. It's well worth the money, in my opinion. So when they wanted, you know, like £2,000 or £3,000 up front, I didn't have the money. I mean, I'm flat broke. I mean, and another thing which some people don't realize is when I do the prepper meet, I don't get a single penny for doing it. It's my time, it's my diesel fuel to go down there and to drive back and to speak to them, have interviews, do emails, phone calls. And all that time, I don't get a single penny from it. So I've got a few people that said, you know what, you don't work full time no more. YouTube is your livelihood and you're struggling. You need to start charging more for prepper meets. But I'm sort of, I don't want to come across as you know, wanting to get money for this sort of thing. But at the end of the day, it's my job and I need to earn money. So any business, like I said, you know, if you're not doing well financially, you've got a crap business. And financially, yeah, my business is crap and it's going to change. It is going to change. But for now, the prepper meet, it's not many places that I could have found with a field, with all the facilities. And the most important thing, they've got their own website and booking system. So that's one less thing that I have to set up a website just for it. And that will cost money as well. So in a sense, I was paying a friend of mine to get the website, the splash page, so that it funnel through to their booking system and all of that sort of thing. So I was down on the deal, basically. And, you know, lots of people who go to the prepper meet, they really appreciate the work that I do to arrange it all and to make sure everyone comes and has a good time. Everyone meets new friends, learns new skills. People swap and sell kit and equipment. It's really good, and it's all prepping related. Okay, so just say, for if you will, it's a classic car show and a classic car club. All you're going to get there is people who like classic cars. But the UK Prepper Meet has been going for donkey's years now, and lots of people go there because they're interested in the world of preparedness, whether they're new people or whether they've been doing it by themselves and they're keeping it to themselves. They wanted to come along and to meet new friends and to exchange ideas, that sort of thing. So in that regard, as a networking ethos, it's worked pretty well, you know. And the weird thing is, you know, people come and people go, but that's life, you know. You don't go to the first Prepper Meet and sign up for a lifelong membership, and if you fail to go, you're going to get fined. It's not that at all. Of course it's not. You know, people go for 1 year and great. People go for a few years, 2-3 years, and for some reason they don't want to do it no more. It's fine. It's not a problem. So the Prepper Meet is going to be in the middle of Wales, in Brecon. Now, Brecon, if you don't know, is where the SAS do their training in the hills. Penny Fan is literally just a few miles up the road, and it's great. I love it there because the scenery is fantastic. I'm going to let you guys have a chat for a sec. Excuse me.
Lena K is asking, can you take a deposit from attendees and use that as a deposit up front?
Take money from attendees? What? No, don't worry about it. Right, here we go. That's looking pretty awesome. Right, let me see if I can present this. Always does that. Why can't I just go full screen like I want it? There we go. Now, it's a weird thing because, as you can say, no foolery, all the truth, like you get in this channel. Brecon, Powys, and there's the date. This is the day before the Prepper Meet, okay? But leading up to it, the weather's incredible. And Thursday. And I was speaking to someone earlier who was doing a long range forecast, and this weather is set to continue for at least 6 days. So from Tuesday, it's going to finish about Monday or Tuesday. So we're pretty much looking at really nice sunny weather. Okay, look at that. Less than 5% chance of rain throughout the whole day on Thursday. This is the day before the Prepper Meet on the Friday. But do you know what? Some people go on the Thursday, and do you know what? And let me just come out of that. In some mild cases, some people literally, and Alex and Colin, if you're watching, it's not unheard of, especially when we've done it at Church Farm, that Colin and Alex would go on the Monday, and the Prepper Meet would start on a Friday. So they're like 4 or 5 days earlier. And then when everyone left on the Sunday or the Monday, they would be there right up till Friday. So they'd be there for 2 weeks. So there are people that go early and leave late. It's just, you know, I'm offering, I mean, the tickets are 30 or 33 pound or something like that for 3 nights and 4 days. And that's just the base, because I can't be there for a whole week, and I'm sure many of you guys can't. But some people do, and you'll be surprised, you know. And I think it's really good, and I think it's testament for the amount of people who want to have a break. So, you know, taking a tent, taking a caravan, a mobile home. Lots of van lifers are going. So if you're into van life, you've not been before, turn up. It's really affordable, and get to meet new van lifers. 2 of my friends who have just been over in Europe have just come back with their vans at a blinding of a time, and they're going to be there as well as a few others as well. There's friends that we know. They come in a big mobile home with their dogs, and it's great. Speaking of dogs, if you are coming and you want to bring a dog, just make sure that the dog's well behaved. And from what I mean by that is, if you can control your dog without using a lead, great. If you can't, keep on a lead or don't bring it at all. It's as simple as that. And the reason I say that is because picture the scene. You've got like families there, kids, elderly people, a few disabled folk as well. And to have a dog running around and you're calling it, it's not paying any attention. You know, you could be knocking little kids over. It could run up to someone who's elderly and they have to move out of the way, and they fall and they really hurt their hip. You know, you really got to think about it. And you have to be honest with yourself, because only you can make that decision and be honest. You know, is my dog going to come to me when I call it straight away? You're the only one who knows that. So if you know that that dog's not going to make a blind bit of difference or not going to pay attention, and you still come, all I'm saying is you've been told, and all you're going to do is potentially upset lots of people. So please ever reconsider if you are that person. All right, all I want to do is just make sure that it's nice for as many people as possible. Okay, so that's going to be, like I said, it's 7 days or 6 days. You know, some people go a day before. Some people, you know, they just come on a Saturday and Sunday because for whatever reason they can't get time off work, so they come early on a Saturday. They spend Saturday night there, and they'll go home on the Sunday. Okay, you can do that. You can just pay for one night. You don't have to pay for the whole thing, right? So all of that is on the cards. Like I said, all of the amenities there. There's really good showers. It's all really clean and quite modern and pretty new, actually. That's there. There's like a kiddies play area with a slide, swing, and a little tunnel to crawl around in. So that's great for the little kiddies. You've got a river there, which is just nice, just to take a chair and just sit down by the river and have a relax. Okay. There are a few trees around the river area to put hammocks up, but it's not a designated area for that sort of thing. So what you'll probably find, if you really, really was adamant on putting a hammock up, you're going to have to do something about stinger nettles, things like that. Okay. So just bear that in mind. But if you're fine with you know, using something to clear some stinger nettles and set up a little hammock there, you probably could if you wanted to. So we get all sorts of people there, and I'm not joking. We had this guy, I don't know if you're watching, I forgot your name because it's hard for me because I have to remember like up 200 300 people's names. Well, I just got to remember mine, so for me it's quite difficult. But this one lad, he rode his bike for more than 60 miles on a push bike, and he got there. He had very little money, but he made friends. Everyone helped him. He was fed and all the rest of it, and he had a great time. So we got that sort of stuff going on. We've got like high-end, really top quality, expensive vans kitted out. We have people with like off-roaders with rooftop tents. I've seen those there. I'm going to be bringing my 9x9 command tent. You literally see everything. I've seen people with bashers who have literally bungeed them onto the fence along the wooded area. I've seen loads of that. People turn up on their motorbikes and they put a basher from their motorbike. I've seen that. I've seen people in 2-man tents, big tunnel tents, anything up to a really big Winnebago, like a 10-seater, huge, big mobile home. It's all there. It's amazing, really. And I've seen people have a trailer, and it's like a pop-up tent in the trailer. So they're literally towing their little portable house behind. It's really cool. And what I'm going to do this year, I'm going to be walking around and mingling, meeting everyone during the daytime. And I'm also going to be making a video as well. So if you wanted to appear on the UK Summer Prepper Meet 2025 video, great. Just come and find me and we can get that done. What I like to do is walk around, chat to people, find out where they're from, talk about what setups they're using, and you know, all of the things that they're into. It's great. But if you do not want to be on film, right, just say so. If you see me walking with a camera, just come up to me and just say to me, I'm sorry, but you caught me on film there. Can you take it off? I'd absolutely make a point of doing that, so you don't have to worry about that sort of thing. I just think it's nice just to record the event, because I do like the idea of having a community where everyone helps each other. Okay, there's no room for idiots and stuff like that. We've got real people, real quality, who love to unwind. I think one of the good things about this is it's a really relaxed social event. Okay, there's no timetable. I've got to be here to see this and to see that, and oh my god, I'm going to be late for this. There's none of that. It's all completely relaxed. People walk around, they chat to each other, they make new friends, and it's really good to see. It's amazing to see. In fact, there's so many other groups and other prepper meets and God knows what all over the UK. But I would say most of them probably met at some point at the prepper meet. So it just goes to show the amount of people who come on their own and they leave with friends. And to me, that is a lovely thing. And I've not only seen that for a year or two, I've been seeing that for 13 years now, pretty much. So it's a big thing. And like I say, it's only 7 days away now. So when I spoke to the farm, tickets have gone pretty good, but there are some spaces left. The big problem that we had last year, I think I've done 2 last year. I think it was the first one. It sold out about a month before the event because I managed to get the dates put out there in January, which is what I normally do. But, most of us know what happened to me during January. I wasn't back online until February or March or something like that. So I left it really late to get the information about the prepper meet. But saying that, ticket sales have gone pretty good. So there's loads of people coming. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are really thinking about coming along and meeting, some of the people in the live chat are going to be there. So if you're getting on with people in the chat, you come here on a regular in the community on the Friday nights that we do, you could see them there. You can meet them for real. It's really, really cool. And the beauty is, there's people from certain areas who meet each other at the prepper meet, not knowing, oh my God, you're from Leeds. I'm from Leeds as well. Fantastic. All of a sudden, you've got something in common. You've got that little group. And because it's a local thing, it's not too much of a hardship to spend time going to each other's places, going out doing some wild camping, testing their own kit, making sure they know what they're doing and learning and stuff like that. I mean, I do plenty of instructional YouTube videos. So if you're new to all of this and you want to learn about what you need to do to survive outdoors, should you have to leave your home in a crisis, I've done hundreds of videos that will help you out. So if people want to meet in person, then they can, and they do. And it's been going on for quite a while. And new little friendships have started. They go to woods or whatever it is, and they train and they practice scenarios together, and it's good. Because let me tell you this, the world of preparedness is a real thing. Okay, it's not about fantasy zombie apocalypse nonsense. No, it's not. We're talking about genuine threats, and we'll all pretty much agree that 2020 changed a lot of things. So in my opinion, it's a really good idea to take this seriously and to come to events like this to meet like-minded people. And you never know, you might meet someone who literally just lives around the corner from you and you wouldn't have known until you met them. Then all of a sudden you've got your own personal prepping network. And that's what we want to see all over the UK. Doesn't matter where it is. If it's happening, good. I can only see prepping as a good thing. To me, it's just common sense. Okay, why wouldn't you buy cheap food today rather than wait and buy it next year for more expense? It doesn't make sense to me. You're going to lose money if you do that. So you haven't got to go mad. Live within your budget. Don't go into debt over it, and just stock what you feel you need to stock, because the prices of everything is going up. So to me, it always makes sense, if you can afford it, put a little bit by his side today, because tomorrow is just a bit uncertain. I think Roach said that, and it's true. He's absolutely right in saying that. So like I said, if you want to come to the prepper meet for the first time, there is a link under the video, and I think Rachel's put it in the chat as well. When this live stream is finished, I will pin it. So it'll be at the top so you can see it straight away. There's a link in the description. All you have to do is click on that and it will take you to the booking site. And I'm going to show it to you now, just so it's not entirely new to you, okay? So let's double check. I wish there's a way I can default make that big. Right, there you go. So when you click on the link, this is what you're going to see. So you'll come to this web page, and it's got an email address, it's got a phone number, and you can book it online. And of course, like I say, they do pick your own fruit and veg as well. They've also got meat there. And this is the name of the campsite, Aberbrand 4. That's in BRECON Beacons. So it's a national park. So it's a really nice area. It's beautiful actually. So it will give you a list of all of them, the prices. But for the prepper meat, it's just bog standard. There's nothing extra. Okay, so that's the same whatever you do. So that's £11 for one night per person. Okay, so all of the fire pits are free. So unlike Church Farm, you had to buy or hire those. These are given to you for free. If you wanted to buy a fire pack, which is everything you're going to need to get that fire lit and all of the fuel, if you wanted to, you can. But most of us just bring our own logs, you know, that sort of thing. Go to the woods. You know, if you find some dry wood, you can bring that. It's fine. Okay. But the fire pits, you will get them from free. So when you arrive, if you watch my video I've done on that, you will see the guy where you check in. Okay. So it's before you actually go into the field, you see the camp warden and ask him for a fire pit, and he'll let you use it for free. Okay. All that they ask is when you're finished with it, you brush it out and you hand it in on the way out rather than just leave it there. It's no drama. That's all you have to do. Okay. It keeps everyone happy. We've got a good relationship with this campsite and we want to keep it that way. So, like I say, it's got everything that you need to know on there. It's not a problem at all. They use PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, Maestro, Electron, American Express, and Delta. So there's loads of ways to pay. This is how you got an email address, just email them, or you can phone up the mobile as well. So this is the most important thing to look at. Okay, so when you go on here, right, you need to, let me just go back. Right, so when you come onto the website, you scroll down and it will say Meadow. Meadow is the one that you want. You want to be in here where there's woods and the river and there's no electric hookups. It's just a great big field with up to 200 preppers in there. All right. And don't be shy. It's all good. Everyone's separated. You're not in each other's pockets and that sort of thing close by. You need to select Meadow. All right. You can't get that wrong. You need to select on that. So as soon as you go to this bit where you see this, which says Meadow, you click book online. And all you do is you scroll down and then you look and it's got Meadow Field. You click on Meadow Field. Just say, for argument's sake, you wanted to come on the 11th, which is when everyone's going to be coming, all right? And you wanted to go home on the Monday, all right? And you click that one. So you've got a beginning and an end. It will say on there 3 nights because it is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's 3 nights. It's got the dates there to check. Anything that you need to check off going through, you just fill out the form. I think they may need a car registration number in notes because they can come around and they can see who's paid and who hasn't, just in case you get some idiots. It's never happened before, but there could always be a first time. So that's why they do that. And that is basically it. Like I say, the link is below the video. Really straightforward, really simple. Oh, Carl McPhee, thank you for that. Have a whiskey and dry ginger. I've never done that before. I've got plenty of whiskey, but not a dry ginger. Do you know, Carl, after all the donations and support you've given me, I might just get some dry ginger and check that out. Much appreciated, sir. Really appreciate it. Because say I was blessed really, because when I discovered that it's a good idea to start maybe storing a few tins because, you know, tomorrow looks a bit uncertain. I started looking on YouTube about what the hell do I do about storing food and all this sort of stuff. Then one of the first videos I come across was Mike's I'm a Cockroach. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have caught the bug about making YouTube videos. I started following Mike back in 2010, 2 years before I started my YouTube channel. So I was already watching videos about preparedness, and then I found Pete, Mind Wiseman, and a few others. And then I started to learn. And do you know what? I got to a point where I thought there's a few things based upon what I've learned and what I already knew that I wouldn't mind sharing. And I had a big problem putting myself on the internet. So if you don't believe me, I'm a very private person. You know, whatever goes on in my private life or my medical history or locations, it's no one else's business. And I like to think you're all the same. Okay. I think too freely, lots of people share personal information about themselves unknowingly. I think it's dangerous. I really do. So I am a private person. So it's a big thing for me to start doing YouTube videos. And in fact, you can watch my very first YouTube video called Recce with Ellie. That used to be the dog that I used to have years ago. And yeah, I watched it the other day for the first time in donkey's years. And I think, wow, I've come a long way. And mainly it's thanks to the kind people who watch my videos and leave me such beautiful comments. You know, it really has encouraged me. So to be the head, as some people call me, you know, of the prepper movement in the UK, because I've been doing it the longest. I've ended up having the biggest following. So naturally, people say you're the godfather of prepping. I think there's a lot of other people out there who know way more about prepping than I do. It's just because I've got an half decent following, and you know, you can decide why that is. You know, I've watched some people's YouTube videos, and to be fair, even if the information's quite good, you know, I've seen like people with as much charisma as a toe on the lettuce eating chocolate in the fridge. I've seen no charisma. And I think it's the personality what people like to see. So, you know, you could have loads of information, but if you're boring or if you're little or if you've got an ego, no one's going to be interested. And that's reflective of the following, you know, it just seems to be how it is. I never thought I'd end up having the following I got and the influence. And I've raised thousands for charities, set up all the prepper meets. People have come, made friends, grown groups. It's been fantastic. And I really do feel proud of the community that I've built up. And, you know, the good people that are in there, you know, credit where it's due. You know, it's absolutely awesome. Speaking of awesome people, Fog 360. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. I've noticed that you've had a good time with Paul and Lou lately. So
He's saying he'd love to go to the prepper meet, but he's moving house, so
oh, Fog, you're moving house. Please tell me you're staying in Cornwall, bruv. Listen, you won't get a real pasty outside of Cornwall. You know that. Oh, awesome. So no, just popping into the chat and seeing what you guys are up to. God, darling, you've been busy. Rachel, my partner, is top moderator because she's literally replying to everything. And wow, that's hard work, darling. Well done. I know some moderators, they don't even put links. They don't reply to people. It's crazy, but you really do work. So thanks, honey. That's cool. What you just surviving? Where is it? Oh, gone. Canada Dry. My God, do you remember that? Yeah. Carl, I haven't seen that in donkey's years. Are they still doing that? God, I used to know people who drank Canada Dry. Wow. And a bottle of red or black label. If you're all talking about Johnny Walker, my dad's favourite. Bloody hell. Fair shout, Carl. You're a good man. Appreciate it. That's really cool. Ninja Man. Oh, guess what, everyone? This is a world exclusive. The real, genuine Ninja Man SAS is going to be at the prepper meet, and he's got a new car. It's all cammed up. It's ready to rock and roll, and the whole prepper meet's going to welcome the Ninja Man. So good to see you here, brother. I hope you're doing well, Mark. Excellent. Old Johnny Walker. Yeah, I'll tell my dad. He knows about these things. In fact, some Irish whiskies are really smooth. I got my dad one called Reuter's Tears. He loved it, and he gave me some, and it's really good actually. It's really smooth. My favourite is Arbalaur 10. They do a dearer one, which is an Arbalaur 12, but I disagree. I think Arbalaur 10 is way smoother than the Arbalaur 12, but that's my own opinion. And of course, we're all entitled to them, aren't we? So fantastic. And also, before I forget, someone, I can't find a message, but someone sent me a message saying that they sent me some cigars in a box to my PO box. My friend who went by the PO box told me about it. So forgive me for getting, I can't find your message anywhere. So whoever sent me that box of cigars, thank you so much. That's come just in time for the prepper meet. So I'm going to be taking those with me. I know Dell, a really good friend of mine, Dirty Room Knives, is going to be there. I'll be giving him one of those cigars for sure, 100%. So yeah, Fog, if you're watching, when you see Paul next, ask him if he remembers that big cigar I gave him where we smoked in the West Kennet Long Barrow. We slept in the West Kennet Long Barrow, that burial chamber, and I gave him a big fat cigar. Yeah, Foggy loved it, mate. It was great. It was awesome. Anyway, I'm beginning to waffle, but the main reason about this video is I do know that every single year we do the prepper meet, well, I did a prepper meet, new people come. And all the information that I put out there in the videos, which is below, is quite minimal, really. So I hope this has given you more of an in-depth viewpoint of what the prepper meet entails. It's a relaxed social event with like-minded people from all walks of life, all financial situations, and everyone has a really nice, relaxed time. And don't forget, which I forgot to mention before I go, is if you want to sell some of your kit, your prepping kit, whatever it is, as long as it's to do with prepping, great. You know, bring it along. If you want to sell it, if you want to give it away for free, I've got loads of stuff on giving away for free. So if you want to come along and help yourself, first come, first served. Be there first thing Friday morning or midday and come over and find me, and there'll be loads of free stuff there. Hopefully, if you're early enough, you'll get first dibs, because once it's gone, it's gone. I'm going to be selling some stuff as well, stuff that I don't need anymore. I've got too much stuff. I need to start helping others with some kit, you know, because if you're new to this, I realize that some of the kit's really expensive. So most of all of the kit, which is like pretty much brand new, is all going to be half price. So if you want to save some money, come and find me, not just me, other people, all right, who are going to be selling kit as well, giving away kit for free. And some people, it's quite rare, but it does happen. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. Some people swap stuff. Okay, so someone wants a belt kit, some webbing, and someone wants a smock, and they think, do you know what? You know, I don't mind swapping that for that if it fits both people. I've seen that done, so that's awesome. Also, I don't know if a mate of mine's going. He's been a few times, and he sells all sorts of stuff. And Ian, if you're watching from Hereford, if you've got some of those little trioxane bars, I'm very interested. So that's pretty much it. So treat it like a social gathering, a meet and a greet, and a bit of a car boot sale. So if you've got loads of stuff you don't want, you can sell it a lot, and you can go home with some money. And you know your girlfriend's not going to give you loads of bad news because you're filling your house up with jackets and backpacks, etc. All right, everyone wins. So you guys take care. Don't forget to check the links in the description. And I'm going to be pinning Rachel's input about the link to it as well, so you can find it nice and easy. So we're going to see you there on Friday. All right. It's going to be fun, and the weather is going to be nice. So yes, that could be a game changer. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. stay funky.